Hello and welcome to another fun-packed, one might even say, cornucopia of entertainment.
Oh, not that blinking word again.
Here on this week's Your Manchester. How are you?
I'm all right. We had a bit of a struggle with that word last week, didn't we?
Well, you did, didn't? Well, no, actually, both of us did. To be fair,
It's. I don't even know what it means.
it's a big horn.
Is
I keep
it?
telling you.
A
I keep shouting
cornucopia?
at you, big horn. Did you
I
not
thought
know?
it was a small pickle. Oh, that's a cornicon.
No, that's a cornicon. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, a gherkin.
Nice things, aren't they, gherkins?
Oh, absolutely. I do like a gherkin.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Pickled?
Yes.
I like them pickled. I like pickled
Yes.
beetroot as well.
Yes, I don't mind it. And I like a bit of piccalilli.
And I love it with cheese.
Oh, anything with cheese.
You can't go wrong with a bit of cheese, can you?
No,
that's
that's
the thing.
our favourite, isn't it? Have you had any nice cheeses since last week?
Do you know I have actually had a nice Gouda?
Oh, have you?
Nice Gouda cheese. It was very lovely.
I had a lovely cheese board on a train.
Did you?
Yes.
Why? Where have you been this week? What have you been up to?
I have been, where have I been? York.
Right.
Yes, I had a lovely cheese board on the train.
How lovely is that? Lovely. There's so much going on today on
There
today's
is
show.
indeed, yes. Who have we got on?
Well, we've got the one, the only, Wendi Peters, everybody.
Oh.
Cilla Brown,
Yes.
Battersby,
Yes.
from our lovely Coronation Street back in the day.
Quite a character, wasn't she?
Oh, she was feisty.
Yes, who was she? Now, who were her children on that? Can you remember?
Chesney
Yes.
and Fizz. Fizz, yes.
Yes, that's right. And of course, she married. Did they get married?
I think they must have done.
I
She got
think they
Battersby, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Les Battersby.
Les Battersby.
Yes.
No longer with us.
No. He is in real life, but no. Bruce.
Is Coronation Street not real life?
No. I'm pleased to say
You wouldn't live there if it was, would you?
wouldn't.
No.
I mean, it's second only to living in Midsummer, isn't it now?
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember she stole Blanche's mobility scooter?
Did she?
Yes, and she crashed it into the canal.
Oh, the lovely canal.
Yes.
How wonderful.
I bet she had to have some tetanus injections.
I bet she did,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
You've been busy this week?
I have. I've been here and there and everywhere.
What have you been doing?
I've been to York, as I said, and I've also been up to Cumbria.
Oh.
Yes, and just a few talks here and there. You've been busy?
Well, do you know, not so much, but I'm going to be from now onwards.
Are you?
Because I go Thursday, I'm at Via. Friday, I'm at a lovely place in Leeds.
Yes.
And then Saturday, I'm part of the reopening of a fabulous venue called Eden in Birmingham.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you close it?
I probably did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
My lack of attendance there is probably what's closed it. But they've opened it. They started off this small venue.
Yes.
And now it's massive.
Oh, really?
Absolutely massive.
fit you in, is it?
To fit my ego, Flower, yes.
There's no venue big enough to fit your ego in.
No, there's
well,
not.
It's marvellous to see you getting these lovely celebrity jobs, opening and closing these, because we've had a letter into the office.
Yes.
Yes, it's from, they do the dragon boat thing now.
Yes.
At Salford Quays, don't they?
Right.
So it's to ask us if we'll go along and present the prizes.
Oh.
Yes, I've got to present the trophy.
Right.
And they've asked if you wouldn't mind kissing their cocks.
I wouldn't say no.
No, I thought you wouldn't. I said to the
say
producer,
no.
I said she'll be up for it.
I'll be well up for it. Do you know why?
Yes.
Because I can just show how much of a whore I am.
Oh,
Thank
I
you very
see what
much.
you did there.
See what I did there?
Yes, you're working here for a reason.
I am, Flower. I'm
Yes,
here
you-
all day as well, I'm here all day.
So,
Yes.
we have a packed show.
We have a packed show.
Yes, why don't we take on our first guest?
Our first guest appearing
Yes.
at Hope Mill Theatre.
Yes, we
Lovely
like it there.
theatre.
We do like it
Lovely
there.
theatre. 150-seater.
Yes, that's right. It's one of the smaller theatres.
As opposed to one of the bigger ones.
Well, I
We've
suppose
got
what
the
would
Palace.
biggest
We've
hall
got
it
the
would be?
Opera House.
Bridgewater Hall, would it be?
Now, how many does the Bridgewater Hall hold?
Well, that's a very good question. I don't know.
Well, can you find out before the end of today, please?
I'll make it my mission.
Thank you very much indeed. Shall we cut to something rather glorious?
Yes.
Well, we've got one amazing show. It's come to Hope Mill. And I
Yes.
love the shows from Hope Mill. I really, really do. And this one in particular is what they would class as glorious.
It is indeed, and starring a friend of the show.
Indeed. The wonderful Wendi Peters joins us now, everybody. Welcome to the show, Wendi.
Thank you. Hello. Lovely to be back with you.
Listen,
Lovely to
this
have you.
is going to be amazing. I already know it's going to be amazing because there's so much hype around it. For those people who don't know the story of Glorious, perhaps give us a little bit of backstory about this.
Of course. Glorious is a play that was written by Peter Quilter in 2005 about the amazing New York socialite Florence Foster Jenkins, who, real life character in the 30s and 40s, had this joy, passion for singing But unfortunately, she didn't hear what everybody else heard. She had an accident when she was younger, which made her deaf in one ear, which may have affected her hearing of what was coming out of her mouth. But she was a trained opera singer, and she also played the piano. She played at the White House when she was 6 years old. But it was always halted by her father, who didn't want her to sing. But of course, when he passed away and left her a load of money, she was able to sing then whenever she liked at recitals and balls, and eventually at Carnegie Hall.
Fantastic. I mean, how fabulous not to care or not to know what people are thinking. Isn't that amazing?
That really is the message, I think, from the show, that whatever your passion, whatever you love doing in life, do not stop anybody else with their thoughts or their words from stopping you doing it.
But we know you can sing. So how are you finding being in this show where you're kind of having to do the opposite of what your talents are?
I know. Well, thank you for saying I can sing. I've done plenty of musicals in my nearly 40 years here in this business. But it is the tricky thing. That is the real tricky thing for me within this show. She's a coloratura soprano. I'm not. So that helps. I'm definitely an alto. I have quite a low voice. So I'm having to learn to sing these arias, which I would never sing in musical theatre, which are very high. But then I also have the added thing of trying to sing them badly, but not too badly, because that's the thing. I'm going to say it's easy. It's not to sing things badly, but it's finding the right moments, because Florence Foster Jenkins, yes, she couldn't sing, but she had a voice, and there were just the odd notes here and there that would go astray, some of the high ones. So it's learning not to just sing it all badly, but picking your moments within the 4 songs, arias that I do in the play.
It's like there's Dawson and the piano, isn't it?
That is exactly what I have lined it up with. Yeah, exactly the thing. He was the most brilliant pianist and a genius, because just every now and then he'd pop in the odd note and give a look to the audience, and it was just wonderful.
So what are we seeing on stage then? What is the actual, how do we encapsulate such a long story of somebody's life within this show?
It's amazing. We do it in just over an hour and a half. Brilliant. I love it. Lovely short show. 50 minutes act 1, lovely interval, have your glass of wine. 35 minutes act 2. And we see the journey from when she's already into her 70s and her pianist George has left her. We don't know the surroundings really, whether she fired him or he left of his own accord. But it's her interviewing Cosme McMoon, played by the brilliant Charlie Hiscock, who comes to the apartment, and she interviews him to be her new pianist. He's a little bit shocked at first, absolutely, but grows to love this woman, takes on the job because, of course, she'll pay him as much money as he wants. And it's their journey, oh, I hate that word, sorry, through the next few months with her recitals and her balls. And he can hear exactly what she sounds like, but grows to love this woman for her chutzpah, and becomes quite defensive when people do say things about her. And that leads up to the final sequence where she is offered Carnegie Hall to do one of her concerts, and she decides that she'll pay for everything, and which could result disastrously if she didn't sell the tickets. 3,000 seats, Carnegie Hall seats. But fingers crossed, it all goes well at the end.
So last time we saw you, you were at the Stockport Plaza about to launch Panto. You were dripping in sequins.
Yes.
Have you got some fantastic outfits in this?
I have. There's a bit of bling, not quite as many sequins, but the thing about Florence also was she liked to do her recitals in costume. So there's a little bit of everything, and the final scene at Carnegie Hall, just you wait.
What do you think it was that drove her to push her career? I mean, was there anybody telling her that she wasn't particularly wonderful?
Well, there were people. She interviewed everybody who came to her recitals. They had to come to her apartment and actually be interviewed, because I think deep down she realised there was the odd voice of dissent who not necessarily knew she wasn't singing correctly, but just didn't seem to like what was happening within the recitals. And in the middle of Act Two, we do hear from one of these voices of dissent. And it's very interesting to hear Florence's reply to Mrs. Veranda Gedge, but also then in quite a little intimate scene with Cosme about how she feels, but the majority of the audience adore her. And you know what? Within our business, you're going to find that anyway nowadays. I'm sure there's people, a few maybe, who don't like what I do, but you cannot listen to them.
No.
I adore what I do, acting, singing wise, and the majority, thankfully, seem to like that as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, we've had the odd petition trying to get us off the air, to be honest. But we plough on just to spite them.
Absolutely.
But it sounds a fantastic show to do. You've got everything there, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a little bit scary. We open on Thursday, so we're going into technical rehearsals tomorrow. We've just done a line run on Zoom. How technical are we? Because obviously they're doing the get-in and the setup at the theatre today. So we did a line run and we start technical rehearsals tomorrow. So it is a bit of a scary time because during technical, everything just falls back slightly because you're stopping and starting, you're not getting a full run at the show. And there's lots of words. There's only 3 of us in it, Charlie Hiscock and the brilliant Anita Brood, who plays 3 other characters. She plays my fabulous maid, Italian maid, Maria, who either of them, they don't understand what either of them is saying, so it just goes from bad to worse. And then she plays the voice of dissent, plus also Florence's best friend, Dorothy. So we've had a lot of lines to learn over the last 3 weeks. Charlie's done it easily. He's young. He's 25. A little bit harder for us older ladies, but fingers crossed they're all in now.
If Florence was around today, just to wrap up, how would she sell this show to make sure she got bums on the seats?
She would say this is a glorious evening, that you're going to have a fabulous time. Costume, music, flowers. What more do you need? It's glorious.
It sounds
Fantastic. So this opens this week. It runs to the end of March, and it's at the Hope Mill Theatre.
Thank you so much for your time today, Wendi.
Oh, thank you. Please come down and see us. It is a great evening with a lot of heart as well as laughs.
We'll
be there.
Thank you, Wendi.
Thank you.
Well, isn't that going to be absolutely glorious?
I am absolutely looking forward to it.
I am too. Are you going to sing to it and whoa, like what she does?
No, I won't be doing that. No. Well, I can do the bad singing. You could do the good singing.
Oh, that's the first time you've ever given me a half-decent compliment.
Yeah, well, I have to. It says in the contract I have to give you a compliment once a month.
Once a
month.
month.
The end of the month.
Right, I see. We've kind of done the compliments then, have we?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
There's so much going on.
There is.
In our cities, isn't there?
Well, all cities.
All cities?
Because, of course, we've got 2 cities, haven't we?
Really?
Here. Yes, we have. And we're joined in the studio by Mark Cantrell, who's going to be telling us all about a great festival that's coming up, which is Sounds from the Other City.
What is the other city?
The other city is Salford.
Of course it is.
Of course.
That's where I was born.
Yeah, where we are.
I was born just round the corner.
Were you?
Yes, in a place called Hope Hospital.
Oh. I know her, yes. And of course it links in with our previous guest because Coronation Street, Tony Warren was from Salford, and the street they based it on, Archie Street, was also just down the road here.
Fantastic. What is Sounds from the Other City?
Sounds from the Other City's a music festival based in Salford. It's going to be turned 20 this year. It happens up and down the Chapel Street and Crescent area of the Salford. So that's from roughly kind of edge of the city centre of Manchester out to the University of Salford. And it's like a 1-day multi-venue event.
Yeah, because it's not a small festival, this is it. This is quite a big one.
Yeah, it is. It takes over about 16 different spaces. It takes in everything from, when I say venues, none of them are actually full-time venues. So it's got churches, exam halls, cafes, restaurants, pubs, artist studios.
And it makes you wonder, where did the idea come from?
Well, actually, it was me and my brother that set it up. We were based here at Islington Mill. We were running a recording studio, and we noticed on the corner of Chapel Street and Bloom Street, there was 4 pubs sat on the corner. We thought it'd be a really fun idea to do a day event that just went between all 4 of them, we asked them. 2 of them said yes, 2 of them said no. So we thought, well, we'll give it a go anyway, and took in a few other places, and that's where it came from.
Fantastic. So there are some wonderful buildings in that area, aren't there? I mean, great history. So using quite a few of those?
Yeah, so there's Islington Mill. That's been there since 1823. There's St. Philip's Church, which I think is 200 years old. There's the University of Salford, that's got Peel Hall, Maxwell Hall, that was really famous in the 60s and 70s, hosted lots of gigs. There's an amazing picture of Blondie playing there, wrapped in a dress that was made from the ticket of the event.
all right.
So it was kind of printed, so it was like 3D printing ahead of its game. So yeah, tons of history. It's it is kind of the old historic centre of the city.
So what happens at this festival then?
I mean, what doesn't happen? I mean, it takes in its day and night. It runs for about 18 hours. Starts at 2 p.m, runs to 7 a.m. It's got everything from live music, club, cabaret. It's music led. There's a lot of other things that cut across it, but it's multiple genres. Yeah, so you can find a little bit of what you're after if you look hard enough, I think.
Right, okay. And you were telling us before we came on air that actually at this building, our studio hosted the festival.
It was weird to see so many people in this venue.
Yes. So the trading estates next to Islington Mill, where we are now. So we had, I think, 3 or 4 years of the festival in multiple venues. We actually had 1 year where it was just on this trading estate. So yeah, we took over all the warehouses and hosted stages in there.
You're following a tradition by getting all those men in your dressing room.
Leave it now. So it's I'm very well behaved. I am not you. You didn't deny that because you know denial's an Egypt.
Hear from us.
So this venue then, if people are interested in coming to it, they want to get tickets for it, how do they get tickets for it?
So the tickets are on sale at our website, soundsfromtheothercity.com. It's 1 ticket for the whole day, one wristband, multi-venues.
Reasonably priced?
Very reasonably priced. Tickets are selling incredibly fast. I think we're on the 2nd release, so you can still get yourself a little bit of a bargain if you work fast.
I love a bargain.
Yeah, we do.
I love a bargain. And act-wise, are we expecting any big names or anything?
So it's a festival of new music, emerging artists. So it covers everything. But yeah, it's about the future, looking forward.
So how do you go about finding these acts then?
So that's a really good question. It's I think a really distinct part of how the event's brought together. So we invite an array of selectors to program each of the stages.
Right. Whoa,
so those selectors take in, there's live music promoters, record labels, venues, magazines. So we invite club nights, we invite them, give them a venue, give them a budget, and tell them, go off and book the thing you're most excited about that year. So it gives you quite a...
Isn't that a good way of doing it?
It is. I think it's what's allowed it to stay quite fresh and quite relevant for such a long time.
Explains why we've not been asked to do it, doesn't it?
Yes, because we're not fresh or relevant, really.
I was looking forward. We're very much looking back. Right. Well, it sounds marvellous.
It does sound marvellous. I'm excited.
Yes.
Are you going to go to any of it? I could see you with your little rave stick.
Good.
Yeah? Bit of tie-dye.
I do that at the Halle.
Do you? What, a rave stick and a bit of tie-dye?
Oh, yes. They don't like it.
I could see you doing it, though.
Yes. I'm sure there'll be something. We'll have to have a look, won't we?
There will, yes. It's a whole genres of music and everything.
Yeah, it takes in everything from bit contemporary classical all the way through to heavy rock, dance, R&B.
And what do you think it is that because it is, like you say, it's going to go on for 20 years. What is it that separates you, that's made you so successful, do you think?
I think it's a proper community-spirited festival. I think it's born out of a community. It develops out of community and it represents that community. So I think grassroots emerging talent in Greater Manchester comes together. It's like a Christmas Day for that scene each year.
Sounds wonderful.
Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? So all the details are there for you, probably at the bottom of the screen.
As we speak.
Indeed. And now we should be back in just a moment because you have to jump into that chair as soon as Mark vacates it.
Okay, let's go.
Well, now you set a challenge earlier, didn't you? How many seats are there in the Bridgewater Hall?
That's right.
And it's just over 2,300, which makes it bigger than the Palace Theatre.
But not as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be like, a lot bigger than the Palace.
Well, but also you have those choir seats, don't you, that go round?
Nice, aren't they?
Yes.
It's a lovely venue.
Yeah, it is.
Really lovely
And that
venue.
actually is sprung.
Is it?
Yes, because they had to do it so that the floor moves because of the traffic and the trams going past, so that it doesn't change the pitch of the orchestra.
I love it when you know something, Mark. I love it when you know
It's
something.
built on, it's got like springs and more bearings underneath
Really?
the floor.
I used to think it was a really old venue, but it's not that old, is it?
Oh, no.
How old is it, roughly?
It's about 80s, 90s, isn't it?
Is it? Is
yeah,
it
because the Yohalla used to be based at the Free Trade Hall.
Right.
And then they moved up there. Bridgewater Hall, of course, named after the Bridgewater Canal,
Mm-hmm.
which goes down to Worsley. And looking like you didn't know that. You
No,
didn't know that.
I love the way what you've done there. It's very clever. I don't know if you've noticed, but we started off the show talking about canals, and you've managed to get it back to canals.
Oh, yes.
That is quite clever.
That is clever.
So I wasn't
there then.
I wasn't like bored or unimpressed. It's just the fact that you managed to do a full circle thing
Without even knowing it.
without even knowing it.
Yes.
Yes.
So there we are.
Yes, indeed. Now, listen,
Yes.
a lot of people this time of the year, they start thinking about their businesses. They start thinking about how they could possibly advertise with us.
Yes, they do, like Esther and Gil.
Yes.
Yes, one of our supporters. So that's right. So there are lots of opportunities because we are most definitely Manchester's #1 talk show, and we are watched all over the country. But lots of people, of course, use the show to find out what's going on and coming into the city centre. So you can join us. We have sponsorships available. You can advertise within the show itself. We will even come out and visit businesses, of course, across Greater Manchester and beyond, won't we?
And that's right. And we are launching a new product where this very studio
Yes.
is available for you to come in and indeed hire. So if you are interested in perhaps getting your own visual or audio podcast together,
Yeah.
then just get in touch with us. It's dead simple. www.yourmcr.com.
That's right. Yeah. So, and we love meeting people.
Like
Going
meeting
out
people.
and about, don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. They don't like meeting us particularly, but
That's
we'll do
all
it.
right. It's the taking part that counts, isn't it?
Absolutely. And of
is.
course, every Sunday, do join Uncle Stephen,
Yes.
if he can be bothered, with the podcast.
That's right.
We're there as well, aren't we?
We're mostly definitely on it, yes. And
And then, of course, we have our live shows, which we
Yes.
announce every now and again.
Yes.
And our next one is at Guybridge Theatre. That's gbtheatre.co.uk, when we'll be doing our classic Coronation Street show on May the 17th.
that's with you, Flower.
That is with me.
I've had my turn. I got a cleaner and you got the full lot of curry. I like it. Lovely. We'll have to do one together at some point.
That would be good.
That would be
wouldn't
nice,
it?
wouldn't it?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love working with you.
I've just got a message in me when I'm now out of time.
This cannot be true.
I know. Doesn't it fly, though?
Doesn't it?
It
Yes.
does fly.
Yes.
But check out the website, like we say, and also check out Instagram, because there's some exclusive interviews over on our Instagram
Yes.
that you can find.
Normally things of us laughing and getting it all wrong.
That's right. And TikTok, that's where we put the outtakes. Sensible
Yes,
bits go on
on
Instagram. Yeah, and it's the way it all goes, really.
is.
Right, well, let's say ta-ra then.
Yes, all right then. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on
Your Manchester.